Back again with another live, and we're gonna do more WNBA coverage. So this time, I'm gonna talk about a few games that happened yesterday, Sunday evening, and the Golden State Valkyries blew out the Seattle Storm by the score of 84-57. Uh, the highlights in this one, as the Valkyries move on to 9-7, while the Seattle Storm fall to 10-7. The story of the game was, we're going to highlight the Valkyries real quick. We're going to highlight the Valkyries. The story of the game was the Golden State Valkyries and their bench. Kate Martin had 11 points in 26 minutes. Letitia Amir here had 15 points in 18 minutes. But also the story was Tiffany Hayes. She had 21 points in 26 minutes, 3 and 4. And Veronica Burton had 15, 5 and 5 in 25 minutes. The Valkyries were able to get their scoring from a multitude and a decimal amount of just players, especially their bench. The bench outscored the Seattle Storm in the third and fourth quarter, which put the game away and put it on ice. Their defense was just tremendous throughout all game. The Storm was not prepared for what they was about to see. And again, this is coming from seeing the Valkyries earlier on in the year, earlier on in the first 3 or 4 matches. They had an appearance, especially after that win over the Las Vegas Aces. It kind of sparked them. It kind of sparked them after that game, and it sparked their turning point in the season. And because they couldn't even find a way to win a home game, and now all of a sudden they're just start winning back to back home games, at least about 3 or 4 in a row. They're just playing tremendous all over the place, getting a multitude of scoring low from everybody. They're collaborating well. The inconsistency from Kayla Thornton is going to be a problem. Either they need to start really getting her, moving her around on the court and getting her into her good spots, or she needs to just really demand and command the ball a little bit more. Just for a matter of fact. But the Valkyries had a scoring low from everybody. They're starting to really find their marking and starting to really find their stride. And I really am liking the way that they're playing right now. They're really giving a lot of effort. Tiffany Hayes and Veronica Burton, like I said, they continue to be this consistent and be more affordable and caring to really put their team best foot suited on the court. I really think they're going to do a lot of big things moving forward in the Western Conference this season. So that can really make some noise, and they can really give a lot of teams, a lot of women's teams problems, man. These girls are really doing their thing. They're really creating their own shots. They're really finding ways to really get involved, mainly Hayes and Veronica Burton. But if Kayla Thornton can be more consistent, and like I said, their bench can provide double digits in points, I think they can really do a lot of big things heading moving forward into the future, man. So trust and believe the Valkyries are not done. They're going to continue to make more strides and continue to make more interest and intriguement, man. And I cannot wait to see what big things they're going to continue to really be doing. So as for the Seattle Storm, as they fall to 10-7 on the year, they're kind of starting to falter a little bit, man. Skylar Diggins and Erica Wheeler were only 2 players that I saw were in double figures, and they was trying to give a little bit of effort off the bench. Zia Cook, she had 10 points in 22 minutes. But the problem is, if you're the Seattle Storm, is you just can't find consistency in these past few games. Gabby Williams and Nike Agumake, they can't find their rhythm at all. They can't seem to find a rhythm. They can't seem to find their way to make an impact. And they've been having games where they can score 15, 17 plus points, and both have games where they be in the single digits. Like, the inconsistency is just not there. And if the Seattle Storm want to try to make a run and make a push, to get into the playoffs, and not only that make some noise, they're gonna have to find a way for Gabby Williams and Nike Agumake, and they're gonna have to find a way from their bench. Alicia Clark and, of course, Zia Cook, Dominique Malonga. Like, any one of these players got to find a way to step up and make some impact in order for the Storm to really get to where they want to go in their goal. And his goal is ultimately to win the championship or get close to it. Golden State can find many different facets, many different ways of winning, and they really are starting to try to find their way back. And I really like the way that they've been playing. So I cannot wait to see what's going to happen for them, and really what's going to happen in the near future for them in this season. So as long as their consistency from Kate Martin and others. Yeah, as long as Kate Martin and Caitlin Chin, Bree Hall, any one of them players off the bench, Tiffany Hayes and Veronica Burton, and if they can find some way to get Kayla Thornton, as long as any one of those stars can get involved and make an impact, I really do believe that they're going to be doing some big things in the future. They can make the Western Conference more interesting and more shaky. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. We're going to talk about the Vegas Aces won a close match, won a close one by the score of 84-81 as they move to 8-8, and the Mercury fall to 12-5. The story was, of course, A'ja Wilson. She had 26 points and 18 rebounds in 35 minutes. Jackie Young and Joelle Lloyd, not really their best selves, but they found a way to get in double figures, and they helped the Aces in the third quarter, towards the end of the third quarter, and late in the second quarter, try to put the game in their hands, and they done it, and they put it together, and they found a way to make it interesting. Phoenix tried to make a run later on in the fourth quarter, but it didn't work. It didn't really have a lot of leg room, but they continue to do something later on. I'll talk about them in a minute, but yeah, that was a good game for A'ja, and that was a good game for also Aaliyah Nye, who had 16 points in 20 minutes off the bench. I really think she needs to equate herself in the starting lineup a lot more. I said that time and time again. They need to really switch her out because Chelsea Gray, if she's going to give you 9 points in 35 minutes, you might need to start out by switching her out and or Joelle Lloyd. Either one of them. And if you need to switch them out and put Aaliyah Nye in there, I would do so. Make the change and make the sacrifice because you can't keep having this much inconsistency, over time and really thinking that you're going to get things done. But Aaliyah Nye has shown you that she has the potential. She may have have a lot of gas left in the tank. And Chelsea Gray and Joelle Lloyd, one of them is not showing you that they can mature enough to really develop and really get things going. I think they might need to have to make a change in the lineup and really, see what you got going on with Aaliyah Nye starting. I really think that will be able to make a difference. Now, for the Phoenix Mercury, you held your heads up high, but again, Satul Sabali, you got to find a way to make yourself more of an impact. Kalia Cooper, she had 15 points. Melissa Thomas was the main leading scorer with 16. And Sammy Whitcomb, she kind of really needs to ingrate herself more in the rotation. She had 14 points in 28 minutes, so it was a decent balance in the fourth quarter from all of them. From the main four players that I said are in double figures, it was mainly a good balance. But the problem is that Phoenix just turn it on and exploded way too late in the fourth quarter when they should have done this like earlier on in the game. It would have made things interesting. It probably would have gave Phoenix a big, strong win, but unfortunately they didn't do that. So that's why they just came up short and came up small in the outcome. But they just turned it on way too late, and they just did not have enough heading into it, man. And the Vegas Aces, just made a few big stops that really kept them alive and really kept them in it. They collapsed on the paint a bit more, and that's what really made their shots more tough and contested. Let's talk about the Liberty versus the Atlanta Dream. The Atlanta Dream won by a score of 90-81. Led for the Liberty is Breanna Stewart and Natasha Cloud. Stewart had 21 points, 9 rebounds in 34 minutes, and Natasha Cloud had 20 points in 34 minutes. Kennedy broke out the bench with 11. Sabrina Ionshoe, she had 14 points in 32 minutes. And for the Atlanta Dream, they were led by Brianna Jones and Alicia Gray. Brianna Jones had 21 points in 32 minutes, and Alicia Gray had 20 points in 36 minutes, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Jordan Kanata had 15 points, and Naz Hillman, she had 10 points in 25 minutes. Brittany Griner got some late points from the free throw line. Her impact was okay. She was cool, but the main story for the Atlanta. Yeah, I go work at. Huh? Yeah, I go to work at 12. Yeah. You got work today? Yeah, I gotta go work at 12. 12? Yeah. 12 to 8? Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. So, like I was saying, getting back to the action. Yeah. So the Dream pretty much had everybody else scoring on all levels and all phases. The Liberty kind of folded down the stretch, and it folded early on in the game. There wasn't, and especially the first quarter, pretty much what did them in. The Atlanta Dream came off to a hot start. They were just hitting and clicking on all cylinders in that first quarter. Second quarter and the third, they tried to make a push, just wasn't enough. And then in that fourth quarter, they scored. The Liberty tried to keep up and score late, but it just wasn't enough. The Dream just had at least 6 players in double figures, so that pretty much was the difference. And of course, their main starting lineup, and their main two primary focus stars and Brianna Jones and Alicia Gray pretty much were the difference, and they did their thing throughout the entirety. They was able to find ways to get into a rhythm, find ways to get open looks, good looks, and then find ways to make creative contestant stops. So really good win for them. Really good win for the Dream as they're making their way in the Eastern Conference and doing and trying to pose a threat. Oh, I think I'll talk about this game. I think I already talked about this one. All right, so I already talked about those games. So let me get into the story of the day, the 2 stories of the day that I want to talk about. So, uh, Aaliyah Boston's comments, post-game comments on Saturday, uh, where she said, "Where the Fever, led by stars Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell, are the most popular team in the WNBA. In addition, Clark's last season produced a significant rise in the fan attention, was carried into the 2025 season. Indiana played the Dallas Wings, of course, on Friday without Clark, who was ruled out with a groin injury. Despite Clark being sidelined, the Fever played in front of a reported 20,409 fans, the largest crowd for a professional women's basketball game in Texas. After a 94-86 victory over the Wings, Boston commented on the crowd and the consistent support for the Fever. Every game is a home game, Boston said. I think you see that people show up, and they show out. I think it's a great game. I think it's great for this league that people are continuing to watch games. I think it's when people show up to watch a game, they might have came for one person, but they leave liking many more. On Saturday, Indiana reported a snippet of Boston's quote on social media, sharing the team's highlights on the bold take, quote-unquote facts. You can see a lot of the Fever fans and supportive. In her second season with the Indiana Fever, Boston is averaging 15.9 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game. And she's looking to make another WNBA All-Star game, likely alongside Caitlin Clark. While viewership credit likely ties with Clark. She has been absent of late. Clark has missed 7 games this season. A quadricep injury that kept her out of the lineup for 5 games, and she has missed back-to-back games with a groin injury, and she will likely be evaluated before Fever's next game against the Minnesota Lynx on Tuesday. And the fans have pretty much spoken in supportive of the Fever, in supportive of Aaliyah Boston's comments and Caitlin Clark's popularity. Now, the thing is, though, my thoughts about this whole counterpart of Aaliyah Boston's comments. Of course, I really like the comments that she made about the fans supportive of them and the team, and that's really, really nice to see her really kind of acknowledging what's going on. You know, the fans gonna rally and come in supportive of the team, of any team, no matter what. And the thing is, because of the popularity that the Fever had led by both of them, I think that pretty much is just renowned. And I think because of what the Fever is doing season, making the games more fun, making the games more exciting, and making the games more entertaining, it really kind of is showing us and showing us as fans and showing us as WNBA fans what could be a really stoic and historical run for this team if they if they stay healthy and if they get both of them on the court together, and also game that is really involved with the physicality and the contact, and really is allowing us to really see and analyze, compartmentalize what both of these teams are made out for, what both of these teams have in store. So I really like the way that both of them have really been playing and really continuing to push it forward. And yeah, that really is going to show you what can be the case. Also, I really like the way that the Fever are rolling right now. Kelsey Mitchell has really added a lot to her game. The bench is really putting it together as well. There are times where defensively they can be a lot more stagnant, and defensively a lot of teams are playing and applying pressure. They're not fooled and not disturbed by Clark's push offs or ability to try to get a push off to try to make her own shots. But and the thing is what I was saying before about her development, on the court, when she is on the court, I think she kind of needs to really put herself in a more preconceived motion in situations where she needs to really start developing. And over the summer, I really think she needs to develop and work on her game a bit more as far as creating a jump shot, really a fadeaway jump shot or something. And then actually finishing on both ends of the court, finishing both ends inside the paint. And Aaliyah Boston, I'm glad that they're trying to feed her a lot more. They need to feed Aaliyah Boston a lot more and really put her in the best situations. So that would be the main thing I would say. But as far as I'm concerned, I think the team collectively is going to rally and really pull it together in the Eastern Conference to make things a lot more interesting, because it's wide open. There's no clear-cut definitive number one. As the New York Liberty's been on a losing streak, and Atlanta Dream is pretty much kind of making things interesting. I think the Fever have a shot to really put themselves in the driver's seat as well. And like I said, I really like the comments that Aaliyah Boston made as complimentary on the fans, no matter what, going to every city to support them. And that really shows you that she and also the team is seeing the fans love and continue to show support. So great look for them and great look for her to really acknowledge that part. And again, I will be watching their game against the Minnesota Lynx. I can't wait to watch that one. To see Courtney Williams, Nafisa Collier. I can't wait to see that matchup. And if Clark does decide to play, I can't wait to see them, Lexi Holey, Boston, the rest of them, and Kelsey Mitchell. I can't wait to see that game against the Lynx. I will be tuning in to watch that one, possibly doing a live stream on it as well. So we'll see how that goes. All right, the last story I want to talk about is and I didn't mention this in my full coverage because I wanted to make this more of a highlight story. So Angel Reese, the first to have 15 rebounds, 15 plus boards in 4 straight games. So I wanted to make this more of the last story of the day. All right. I didn't want to make no sound coming on. So Angel Reese has scored a season high 24 points and became the first WNBA player with 15 or more rebounds in 4 straight games, finishing with 16 boards, leading the Chicago Sky to a 92-85 victory. Oh shoot! What the hell? 92-85 victory on Sunday over the LA Sparks, who retired Candace Parker's number 3 jersey at halftime. Reese had 11 points in the fourth quarter, gave the Sky 85-74 lead on a 3-point play with 2.5 minutes to go. She had 19, 17, and 18 in her previous 3 games. And she also had 7 assists and 2 blocks on Sunday. Parker, a 2-time MVP and Chicago native, played 13 seasons with the Sparks, 2 for the Sky and 1 for the Aces. She won titles with the Sparks in 2016, the Sky in 2021, and the Aces in 2023 in the final season. The Sky will retire her jersey later this summer, and Reese will retire her jersey this summer. Reese had a basket as Chicago got their last 4 points in the third quarter to pull at 62-61. She scored 6 straight points early in the fourth quarter to help Chicago take the lead for good. And Ariel Atkins added 20 points for Chicago 5-11. Kia Nurse scored 14 off the bench. And Rachel Banham had 13. Elizabeth Williams had 12 off the bench. And Kelsey Plum led the Sparks 5-12 with 22 points. Darica Hamby had 20 points and 10 rebounds. Azura Stevens had 17 points, and Emma Cannon had 15 off the bench. Sky took a 40-34 halftime lead. And, of course, Parker came on the court to address the crowd as the CCR jersey retired. And the Raptors, and next to the Sparks, Grace Lisa Leslie and Penny Toller. The Sparks shot 31% in the first half, and a three-point play by Reese early on in the third quarter gave Chicago a 48-36 advantage. But the Sparks responded with a 17-3-1 to take a 7-point lead. So yeah, this is a absolute phenomenal remark by Angel Reese. A lot of media and fans have been very critical of her, and she has been improving over the past 4 games, not only in her rebounding, but her points per game. She's really and like I said before, you got to give people time. You got to give these women time to really develop and really push forward. And I think that is the thing because of the popularity, because people have we live so much of the microwave culture where we got to expect people to improve and thrive so fast. Not understanding that this game evolves, and this game is a game and evolve of runs. And as you can see, this game evolves of runs, and this game evolves of just knowing that your offense is predicated on setting up plays and create opportunities for your primary stars to really shine. And so again, that really is a thing that Reese did, and she did her absolute damn thing to really get involved, get active on the boards, offensive rebounds, get a couple of blocks, defensively make an impact, and also getting to the spots where she can shine the best. So I really like the way that they're doing their thing, man. And the Chicago Sky are trying to find opportunities, even though it's going to be pretty much a long overhaul season because their team is still not together. But if there is something to look forward to, with held your head up high right now, it really shows the good signs that Angel Reese is definitely developing and pushing better to really get to make things an opportunity for her. Whether she's going to be with the Sky or not, I don't know where the future's going to be looking like the next following season or so afterwards or towards the end of the season. But at the same time, this is a really good, remarkable feat, especially with seeing Candace Parker, her jersey retired in the Raptors, and knowing that both of her former teams is really being competitive and really showing that fight and grit. So that's a really great thing for Reese, and that's a really great thing to see that her teammates, and of course her teammate Ariel Atkins, and the bench coming through like Rachel Banham and Elizabeth Williams coming through. The Sparks got a lot of things to work on, and Derica Hamby, she had a good game with 20 points and 10 rebounds, but again, you got to be as consistent as possible. But as far as Reese, definitely a great sign for her, and definitely a great thing to see the Sky really get this type of advantage, get this type of involved scoring. So again, that's all my thoughts on this matter. Um, Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for viewing, liking, sharing, and subscribing. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out. And yeah, the next topic I'm probably going to talk about is of course, the notorious comments that have been made by Gilbert Arenas and Tracy McGrady trying to disparage Kobe Bryant's name and legacy by trying to admit that switching teammates out, if he would have won the same amount of championships with Shaq. So that's the next topic I'm probably going to talk about. And until then, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out. And also you'll see me cover the Lynx and the Indiana Fever tomorrow evening. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.